Yes, fight fans, welcome to Red Corner Boxing. Welcome to League Prediction 2 on an 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. This is for promotion to League 1 of our Prediction League. We had that one earlier on at 6:15. And just a reminder, this show is proudly sponsored by EasyStorage.com. For all your local and nationwide needs, please get onto them in our bio. Right, welcome, gentlemen. Once again, Rise Ramblings is this week's leader after a great week last week with 105 points. You're setting the standard, mate. What have you been up to this week, Rye? I believe you've got a show coming up in Liverpool, my hometown, in June. Tell us all about it.
It's fell through.
Oh, mate, I was hoping to catch up with you as well in Liverpool. That's a fucking shame. Right, well, let's move on. Let's move on to your first pick. Jonathan Mansour versus Christian Avalos. Jonathan Mansour, 24-year-old, 4 wins, 2 by way of knockout, no defeats. He was last out in March this year with a knockout in the first round of Bose in that lightweight division title. And his opponent is, similarly inexperienced. 3 wins, Christian Avalos, and none by way of knockout, 2 defeats, 2 draws. Last out in March of this year with a Diaz loss by mandatory decision over 6 rounds. I come to you first as league leader, my man, Rye. What have you got to say about this prediction?
I'm going for a Mansour UD.
Mansour UD, thank you. Lee No Smoke Sports or NSB, who is currently in second, cannot be with us tonight. He's watching soccer. He's watching football instead of being here, which is a sad state of affairs. Lee NSB of No Smoke Sports, you're in a disgrace. You better be here next week or there'll be murder. But you've gone by UD, similarly to Rise Ramblings. Sahan from Ohio is similarly missing. He can't be here tonight. We'll catch up with him. I've got Jack Hughes, and we'll come to Jack in a bit, but he has gone for knockout with Mansour. So 20 as you next, 5th in the league. You've moved up. Oh, he's gone. He had moved up. We'll come back to him. Flash Ash Lane.
Yes.
For me, you had a good week, but there was a high scoring week, Ash. Your 86 points sort of kept you in the middle of the pack. You hope for a strong week. What are you saying in this? Jonathan Mansour versus Christian Avalos.
Well, Mansour is going to win. I mean, that's what that is. Just whether he stops the kid or not. How many rounds is this fight?
This will be, in fact, I don't know, my man. I really don't know. That's my bad. I should have found out that information. But let's say it's a minimum of 6 rounds. For me, it's got to be 8 to 10.
Okay, so say it's 8.
As a headliner, yeah.
I'm going to go with Mansour by stoppage. Well, how many knockouts he got? Did you say?
Sorry, say again.
How many knockouts did Mansour have?
Jonathan Mansour, he has 2 out of 4 knockouts, so it's 50.
Okay, 50-50. You know what? I'm going to stick my neck out and say Mansour stoppage.
Thank you, Ash. Rick, what are you saying, my man?
I've gone for Mansour unanimous decision.
A unanimous decision. Back to you, 20.
Yeah, sorry about that. I pressed
no
pressing
problem
buttons.
at all, pal. Fantastic week last week for you. You done very well with 94 points.
I had the Dave Allen knockout.
That's right. Me and you were the only ones to pick that. I said afterwards, nobody went apart from 20, went for a knockout for Dave Allen.
Which I was quite surprised with, really. After so soon after the last fight.
Yeah.
I was shocked that no one else went for it. Really.
Well, for me, he was robbed. He was robbed in
Yeah.
fight one. Fight two, he put £20 on. He thought, I just have to a bit more power, a bit more belief. Done the business. What a knockout! Knockout of the year so far, 2025. So, what are you saying about this 20? Jonathan Mansour versus Christian Avalos.
I'm going to go with the Mansour knockout.
Thank you. Right, let's get back to across the pond, and this is Friday night's main event with Terry Harper versus Natalie Zimmerman. Terry Harper, going back to my notes, where the fuck am I? Right, she's 28 for 15 wins, 6 by knockout, 2 defeats, 2 draws. She was last out in September last year versus Dixon with a unanimous decision win for the WBO 135-pound title. Natalie Zimmerman, she's 42 from Germany, 30 wins, 3 inside the distance, and she's undefeated. And she was last out against Davrovica in September last year on points over 10 rounds. Gentlemen, back to you, Rye. It's Harper Zimmerman.
I'm going for a Harper UD.
Harper by UD. Same as Lee from
Yep.
No Smoke Sports, NSB. Sahan, but not yet. Jack Hughes, another professional boxer, has gone for a knockout for Harper. He fancies that. I'll come to you, 20. Do you fancy the knockout, or do you see it going another way?
No, I think Zimmerman will probably tough it out, but it'll be unanimous decision to Harper.
UD Harper. Thank you very much, 20. Ashleen.
Yeah, neither one of them have got a high stoppage on the records, and Harper's the younger, fresher. She's got more to gain from the win, so I'm going with the Terry Harper UD.
Terry Harper UD. Thank you, Ash. And finally, Rick.
Yep, same here. I'm going for Harper UD.
Thank you very much, Rick. Right, back to another title fight. This is a delayed title fight between Wilibado Perez and Rene Bibiano. This is a rematch from their previous fight back in December of 2024. Wilibado Perez, 22 wins, 13 inside the distance, 5 defeats, 2 draws. Against Bibiano, who's 30, also Mexican, all Mexican affair, 23 wins, 9 inside the distance, and he's undefeated with 1 draw. And obviously, he had that split decision win against Perez, or split draw rather, against Perez in December. Now, back to you, Rye. Is this going to be clear cut this time for you?
I think it could be a closer fight again. I'm going for a Bibiano split decision.
You're going for a Bibiano split decision. Thanks very much, Rye. Lee from No Smoke Sports has agreed with you that Bibiano would win, but by majority decision. And Jack Hughes has gone for a majority decision for Perez to win this fight. 20. What are you saying?
Well, I'm wondering whether to change my mind now because I need to catch Rye up in the league. But I'm going to stick with my guns and I'm going to say a Bibiano split decision. Yeah,
Bibiano split decision. You're following Rye. I get it. The strategy, you've got to play strategy in prediction league at times. Sentiment. I will say, gentlemen, if you've got sentimental thoughts about boxers, don't bring it to prediction league. You will suffer. And Ashleen, what
Yeah,
are you
what is it? Something like 80 or 90% of rematches go the same way. Bibiano, where his name was, won the first fight. I think he'll win the second. Do I think it'll be a split? It's highly unlikely to be a split or majority in a rematch. One of them tends to up their game and perform better. So I'm going to stick my neck out, say Bibiano, whatever his name is, UD.
Bibiano UD. Thank you, Ash. And Rick, just top us off for this fight.
I'm going against the grain. I'm going with a Perez unanimous decision.
Perez by unanimous decision. This time around, he may impress the judges enough. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we move back to Glasgow, me and Rye's favourite place, I would imagine, in the world right now. And we've got Josh Taylor headlining against Eku Essuman. Now, Josh Taylor, as we know, he's 34 years of age. He's a southpaw. He's got 19 wins, 13 inside the distance, with the 2 defeats at super light, and obviously last out June in 2023, so almost a 2-year gap, with that unanimous decision loss to Teofimo Lopez for that WBO belt. He's up against the European champion Eku Essuman. He's now 36 orthodox, 21 wins, 8 inside the distance, 1 defeat, no draws. He was last out with the majority decision in July last year for the WBO European. Now, gentlemen, does Josh Taylor come to 147 and do the business? And I'll come to you first, Rye.
I think he will. I think he has to. I think this is make or break, to be honest. I think he'll need to have a statement victory. That's why I'm going for a Taylor KO TKO.
Rye's gone for a very, very sentimental knockout victory, not seen since Ramirez back in 2021. But I do applaud it. I love it. I hope it happens. Lee from No Smoke Sports says UD for Taylor. But Jack Hughes, Rye, actually agrees with you with the knockout victory for Josh Taylor. And I'm moving to 20 now. You've got to be looking at some points here, 20. Is this the fight for you to see that this extra 5 points for the knockout is feasible?
It's funny you should say that, because I'm going for a draw.
Oh,
20 has gone for the 20 points a draw because, yes,
Whoa.
he can see that Eku Essuman could do a carol here, and the Scottish judges will rob him of that victory with a draw. I applaud you, Sir 20. That is a very bold prediction. I love it. It could well happen. Trust me. Can Josh Taylor get away with striking lightning twice? I don't think so. Let's go to Ash Lane. What do you think, Ash?
Yeah, I think Josh Taylor will win. It's boxed at a higher level. It's more skilled. You know, he's done the rounds, got the experience. It's just whether he carries that power up and can stop Essuman. I'm stuck between the knockout and UD, but I need the points. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say Taylor TKO.
Taylor by TKO. I'm not going to argue against you. I think that's a tremendous show. Now, Rick, do you believe that going to 147 is what has been badly needed for Josh Taylor for the last couple of years, considering that unanimous decision lost against Teofimo Lopez? I felt he was drained in that fight. He wasn't the same. He's never been the same since Ramirez for me. But do you think that he can actually show what he's about at a high weight at this stage of his career?
I mean, personally, I think he's just been bettered by the better men. I think Catterall is top level. I think, obviously, what's the other guy? Was it Lopez, you said?
Yeah, Teofimo.
Yeah, Teofimo, yeah. I think, obviously, he's top class. But I'm like this other guy that he just said he's split on the KO and the UD. I think it could go either way as well. But personally, I've gone for a UD. I don't think the power is gonna be there. I think Essuman is going to be quite hard target to hit. So yeah, I'm going to go with the UD.
You go for the UD. Thank you, gentlemen. So the general consensus is that Josh Taylor will be good enough by pedigree in this fight. Let's move on to a very, very awkward fight for me, which is Nathaniel Collins versus Lee McGregor. They're both 28 years of age. The Collins, the orthodox, McGregor, the southpaw, both from Scotland. Nathaniel Collins, 15 wins, 11 sided distance, 1 defeat, 1 draw. And this is for the WBC's 100 featherweight silver vacant title against Lee McGregor, 16 wins, 7 inside the distance. He is unbeaten. He was last out in February of this year against Martinez with a points victory over 8 rounds. And as you know, Nathaniel Collins was last out in December of last year against Isaac Lowe with a 10-round victory, unanimous decision, which was a bit of a battle, to be honest, lads, if you remember that fight for Nathaniel Collins. Now, as I said, I don't want either of these guys to lose. I feel this fight could have waited another year or so, but it is what it is. It's here now. Rye, I'm pretty sure that you're sort of torn between these two guys. What are you saying?
I've thought about this for a while, but I'm a bit torn. I'm tempted to go for a draw, actually, after hearing 20 saying draw before. But no, I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go for a Collins unanimous decision, actually.
Collins by unanimous decision. Funny you should say that. Lee No Salt Sports has gone for that as well. And moving on to Jack Hughes, who's actually gone for a McGregor UD, which is interesting. Now, 20, from an English point of view, looking at two Scotsmen on, at quite a high level, do you see the knockout either way?
Do you know what? I don't see a knockout. I see this going the distance, but I think it's going to be quite a close fight. But I think Collins is just going to get it on the split, I think.
Collins on a split decision, says 20. Thank you very much, my man.
Could
Ashley,
be fight of the night, you know.
I think it will be absolutely. It's going to be a battle. Neither guy will give ground. They'll not give ground in that center of that ring. It's going to be an absolute war. Ashley, do you see any different from what I've just said?
No, the only difference for me would have been the power that Nathaniel Collins has. I was thinking he could catch McGregor early and stop him, but I got to be honest, I didn't know that he boxed Isaac Lowe. And he went 10 rounds. Isaac Lowe's pretty poor, to be fair. And to have a battle against him, I mean, he's not on McGregor's level anyway. So I can't see the knockout because McGregor took it up quite well. He can take the shots. He's a tough kid, and this is world title. So he's definitely not getting stopped. I can see him putting everything on the line and just coming up short in a split decision. So Nathaniel Collins split.
Thank you very much, Ash. Similar prediction to 20. Rick, do you see any different?
I've actually gone against the grain again, funny enough. I've actually gone McGregor, TKO.
You can actually see a stoppage. I'd be absolutely gutted if that happened, to be honest, Rick. I wouldn't like to see either guy stop, but as I say, somebody's got to lose, but somebody might not lose.
True, very true.
I think the draw in this fight is the most likelihood of this card. It'll be so hard to split for me. So it could be an opportunity missed there, guys. Right, let's moving on. We've got Moses Atuma, who's back against in his heavyweight division against Mike Belugan. Moses Atuma is a southpaw. He's 20 years of age, Slovakian-born Englishman. I just had to get that in, gentlemen. I'm very sorry for all of you thinking he was English. Against the American southpaw Mike Belugan. Now, Moses is 11 wins, 9 inside the distance. He is unbeaten. He destroyed Dempsey McKean in one round. last time out. And Mike Belogan, 21 wins, 16 wins inside the distance. Very, very, very respectable. And only the one defeat. And he was last out in March of 2024, which is quite a long time ago, with a unanimous decision over 8 rounds against Capers, whoever he is. And I'll come back to you, Rye. Quite a good resume considering, the levels that these two guys are at. What do you see in this fight?
I think it's silly to go against a two-man knocking him out. That's it. Simple as that.
It's very hard to, and a lot of people have. Lee No Smoke Sports and, of course, Jack Hughes have gone similarly with a knockout. 20?
Yeah, 10 rounds in it, so I just can't see him staying in there for 10 rounds. So, yeah, at home we're knockout probably round 4-ish, something like that.
Okay, then. Thank you, 20. Ash Lane, he's gone up the levels of Tuma. This would be seen as another step up in level. Do you see a similar destructive path?
Yeah, I think they'll be happy to get some rounds in. But yeah, I can't see Ituma losing. He's something special. He's fast, he's sharp, he's got power, he can box. He's just absolute class. So I see him getting him out there mid rounds, 4 or 5, something like that.
Thank you, Ash. And Rick, just to finish this one, Moses Ituma.
I'm going KO as well. I think within the first 3 rounds.
KO first 3 rounds. As I said, gentlemen, it's across the board, both leagues, pretty cut and dried there. Right, let's move on. This is an intriguing cruiserweight bout, and this is for actually a belt. This is for the vacant British English cruiserweight title. This is England's Alois Jr. Forgive me, I don't know his full name. He's an orthodox, and he's up against Scotland's David Jameson. 22-year-old orthodox Alois against 33-year-old Scotsman David Jameson. Alois is 9 fights in, 8 inside the distance with the 1 defeat. He was last out in December of last year against Oakford with a 3rd round stoppage. David Jameson, on the other hand, he's a 13 wins, 10 inside the distance, 3 defeats. And he was last out in November last year with a knockout victory in the 5th round against Sandland in Scotland. Now, back to you, Rye. I suspect you know more about these two gentlemen than your compatriots here. And that, unfortunately for you, I have to come to you first as the leader of the pack. So you're going to give away a lot of information here. So, Alois Jr., David Jameson.
Do you know what? My heart wants to go for Jameson.
Aye,
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
nice guy. Trains this down the road with me. But I'm going with my head. I'm just going to say Alois will knock him out. I think he will.
Alois Jr., a knockout for him. Obviously, he's got 8 from 9 knockouts. It's looking, on paper, like it could be 9 from 10. Lee No Smoke Spot says a knockout as well. So does Jack Hughes. 20. I don't think you're going to see any different.
Nah, you bang on, Junior knockout.
Thank you, mate. Ashleen.
Straight away, like, you just look at the record and this ain't getting the distance, Alois was younger, fresher, probably got more fire in his belly, his home show. So you gotta go with the home kid, Alois, for a knockout.
Right, I get you. Rick.
I'm going exactly the same.
Okay, this is a reason why I do not do prediction leagues, gentlemen, because I'd say you're all crazy and David Jameson would knock him out purely on sentimental reasons. But that's why I don't. I'd be relegated in sheer and utter disgrace. Right, moving on. And again, it's another Scottish bout. And this is between Scotland's Aston Brown, 34 years of age, orthodox. He's up against Rhys Porter, 26, another orthodox. Aston Brown, 7 wins, 2 inside the distance, but he is unbeaten. He was last out in August last year against Quinn, who got with a second round knockout in 10 rounds. Rhys Porter, he was 5 wins, 3 inside the distance, also unbeaten. Last out in August of last year. I believe it was the same card. I could be wrong there. But he got the knockout of Romero in rounds 2 of 6. And this is for a belt. And I can't read my own writing, so you're going to have to excuse me there, gentlemen. I believe it's for an area belt, Scottish area, 160. So this is a Scottish area middleweight belt. Right. Back to you, Rye. You should have the know-how about this. What are you saying?
I mean, I think, who have I got here? Sorry. I've got Porter. Sorry, I'm in the wrong fight here. I've got, 2 seconds, mate. Sorry. My spreadsheet's all messed up.
Shit happens, mate.
Aye, sorry. I've got Porter for the KO TKO.
You've gone for Porter for the KO, right? Thanks, Rye.
And he's not getting any younger. He's only 34 and he's had 7 fights. So, I mean, he has to make a push now. That's it. Do you know what I mean?
He has to. I quite agree. He's got he's a big boy. He's got the power. He can do it. Lee No Smoke Sports has actually gone against you, mate. He's gone for UD for Brown. But Jack Hughes has actually agreed with you with the knockout. 20, I come to you for this all Scottish affair. What do you see?
Yeah, I feel like Rye's been able to see my predictions beforehand because he's just not letting me gain any ground on him, is he? But yeah, so I'm going the same as Rye. I'm going Porter to get the knockout, I think.
I love it. I love it. But, you know, it's not, you'll gain ground on the others, mate. One at a time. You'll get there. Ashleen.
Yeah, Porter was the away fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's the away fighter here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was going to say the away fight. So Porter, he had pretty high knockout record. The better than beaten. I think he'll come in and he'll give everything he's got, and I think he'll win. With that power, I think he'll win by knockout. So away fighter Porter by KO.
Thank you, Ash and Rick. Just to finalise that one.
I've gone Brown UD.
You're going for a Brown by UD. Feels like your superior skill set is going to be the deciding factor. Right, let's get back across the pond. And we've got an IBF featherweight title fight between Angelo Leo of United States versus Tomoki Kameda of Japan. Angelo Leo, 31 years of age, 25 wins, 12 inside the distance, just the 1 defeat. He was last out in August last year. Well, he knocked out Lopez for that fight. Tomoki Kameda, 33 from Japan, orthodox, 42 wins, 23 inside the distance, 4 defeats, no draws, highly experienced. Last out in August of last year, the same as Leo, with a split decision win against Diamini over 12 rounds. Intriguing affair. Angelo Leo, one of the belt holders, is he going to be victorious once again against Kameda? Rise Ramblings.
Yeah, I've waited for Leo UD. I mean, I can't
Leo,
remember. I must have watched these fighters at some point, but I just can't remember anything about them.
A lot of people do. You see highlights of, you know, most of these boxers, but to actually get to watch a full fight and recollect is another matter. Lee's No Smoke Sports and NSB has gone for split decision for Leo, but Jack Hughes once again with you, Rye, is following your pattern. 20, you have a similar mind.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be on next week. I'll just let Rye take the picks, and then I'll just have whatever he has. Yeah, so I've gone for a Leo unanimous decision as well. I was toying with the split decision, but I just think Kameda's just a bit too much over the hill a bit now. So yeah, Leo unanimous decision.
Yeah, sometimes chasing that extra point is just not worth it considering the age factor. Good shout. Ashleen.
Yeah, Leo, UD.
Leo, UD, thank you, Ash. And Rick, finish that one off.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I've gone for Leo UD.
Seems to be the consensus there, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Right, moving swiftly on. And we have another title fight, and this is an IBF minimum weight fight. And of course, you've got the inevitable Filipino in Pedro Taduran. He's 28 southpaw, and he's up against the Japanese Jinjiro Shigeoka, 25-year-old southpaw, all southpaw affair. Taduran obviously won this last fight. It's a rematch. 17 wins, 13 outside the distance with the 4 defeats and the 1 draw. Jinjiro with 11 wins, 9 inside the distance with the 1 defeat to Taduran last time out in September last year with that knockout loss in the 9th round. Sorry, it was July last year that was. Do you see Revenge repeating this one, right?
I'm going to go against what most people do, I think. I'm going to go for a Shigeoka split decision.
Shigeoka split decision. I like your style there, mate. Both could take each other the distance this time and just sheer confuse the judges. Lee No Smoke Sport says the Taduran UD. Jack Hughes has gone for a Shigeoka knockout. 20. Is this a hard fight to judge?
Yeah, it is. What swayed me a bit is he's got Duran in his name, so that's what.
Taduran.
That's what swung it for. That's what swung it for me. So I'm going to go for a Taduran split decision.
Taduran split. Thanks very much, mate. Ashleen.
I didn't really know too much about these lads. I mean, most rematches go the same way, but it's interesting that Tajuran won by TKO in the last fight. Yet they're having a rematch. And normally, when you knock someone out, there isn't a rematch unless the fight was back and forth, entertaining, and it could have gone either way up until the stoppage, or it was very controversial. Yeah, so it must have been, an edge on your seats kind of fight back and forth. It must have been controversial. So, it's like, I was going to go with Tachuran, but do I think it's going to be a knockout again or points? I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm going to go against the grain and say Tachuran by TKO again.
Taduran by TKO. Yep. It was a sort of weird down performance in that stoppage. But minimum weight, anything can happen. There's not that much competitiveness, amongst the ranks at minimum weight. That's probably why it warranted a rematch. Moving on to you, Rick. What do you see?
So I have gone for Taduran UD.
Taduran by UD. Quite a versatile an array of predictions there. Right, let's get back to some British action. We're going to go back to the Terry Harper card. This is Maxie Hughes on the undercard versus Archie Sharp. This is for WBC lightweight silver title fight. Maxie Hughes is 35 now. He's a southpaw. 28 wins, 6 inside the distance, 7 defeats, 2 draws. Obviously, last out in that great fight against Gary Cully in December of last year, where he won by unanimous decision. Archie Sharp, who's 30, orthodox, 25 wins, 9 inside the distance, and just that 1 defeat, which was July last year against Ryan Garner that unanimous decision loss. Gentlemen, back to you, Rye. Is Hughes just too good?
I'm going for Maxi Hughes, majority decision.
Maxi Hughes did majority. Lee No Smoke Sports has gone for split. Jack Hughes has gone for UD for Hughes 20.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get that rematch with Kambosis, I would love to see it for him. Yeah, I'm going for a huge unanimous decision.
Hughes UD, thanks, mate. Ashleen.
Yeah, I think they're cashing in on Archie Sharp or they're throwing him to the Wolves. I can't see he's not at that level of Maxi Hughes, so I can't see nothing else but Maxi Hughes UD.
Smashing, thank you. And finally, Rick.
Yep, I've gone exactly the same. So a Hughes UD.
Stupendous. Thank you. Right, moving on to the last fight of the night, gentlemen, and of this week for Prediction League 2 in Fight Week 4. And we have an IBO Continental Lightweight vacant title fight between Lewis Sylvester, 27 from England Orthodox, versus Reese Mould, 30 years old, Englishman from, can't remember where he's from. He's an Orthodox. Sylvester was last out in November last year against Lopez with a points win over 6 rounds. Reese Mould with a similar 6-round points win over Vincent in February of this year. So this is for an IBO Continental Lightweight title fight. This will be over 10 rounds. How's this one go, gentlemen? Let me come to you, Rye, first.
I'm going for a Mould UD.
A Mould UD, thank you. As does Lee No Smoke Sports. And Jack Hughes goes for a majority decision for Mould, 20.
I'm going for a Reese Mould on the split decision.
Reese Mould for a split decision, thank you, 20. Ashleen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Reese Mould win. Let's go for UD. Reese Mould UD.
Reese Mould, UD says Ashleen. And Rick, the final prediction of the week.
I've actually gone for Sylvester UD, actually.
And Rick has gone for Sylvester UD in the final prediction. Mate, great stuff. Well, gentlemen, thanks once again.
Mr. Neutral, can I just give a quick shout out to my 2 boys that are having the first fight this weekend?
Sure you can. On you go, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, just a shout out to Max and Riley who are having their first amateur fight this weekend. And if you're into your amateur boxing, go check out Twinny Boxing on YouTube. I do a lot of videoing of the amateur fights and stuff. So go and check it out. And thanks for all your work, Mr. Neutral and Jams.
Thanks very much, 20. And make sure all you guys who are watching on X and YouTube, please check out 20 Boxing. He's one of our collaborators on Red Corner. And of course, all our content creators who are on our prediction leagues, as well as our professional boxers and all you guys. Once again, thank you very much. Good luck for this week, gentlemen, for this weekend's boxing. We'll see you same time next week. Don't forget, this program is sponsored by EasyStories.com for all your local and nationwide needs. Gentlemen, till next time, see you soon.